Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESR. Max, joined by Jack, the Senator Dunlop today. How are you?
I'm great. I'm waving to all my people.
Your people say hello?
No, they hate me.
The people hate you?
No, they don't.
Okay, good. That was a very good quick scope.
Fantastic time. I won that one with ease.
Great questions sometimes. Matt Morrell did the questions.
Good stuff overall.
Yeah.
But now we are excited because Friday starts the X Games, the second time ever we'll be seeing Call of Duty there. Optic Gaming took it home last year. We'll see if they can make the two-peat. But what we're breaking down today is the top 20 impactful players heading into the X Games. Now, this list was made up by a general consensus here in the office of who we're expecting to see, and really
me on the bus.
who these teams kind of need to step up to do well.
Right.
Now, stats-wise, there might be a couple players who should be on this list that shouldn't, but overall, for the roles that these players play on their teams, they are massively impactful. Now, you may be thinking, Jack, there's only 32 players attending X Games. 20 is a lot. It's over half. Well, we want to make a pretty darn good list for you all today, and Max, I think we have one.
Yeah, I think we have a great list. Obviously, starting at 20. Want to get into our first player?
Yeah, let's start. Let's get into it.
Coming in at number 20, Chino from Rise Nation. This is going to be his first time competing at the X Games, as you can see on your screen. He's the captain of this Rise Nation squad, as well as a Slayer, and you can see his stats from the Season 2 regular season. 1.01 overall KD, a 1.04 S&D KD, averaging just under 30 kills a game, 1.65 uplinks per game, 0.98 hardpoint KD, which is, we'll come back to that, and then a 1.10 CTF KD. But like we said, that hardpoint number is a little shocking considering, you know, things people were saying about Chino early in the season, Jack.
Yeah, back at UMG Orlando, a lot of hype around this player, saying how strong he is in hardpoint. Puckett was a big believer in him since the start of AW. Really, though, where are we going to wind up seeing him perform this weekend? He needs to go big for this Rise squad alongside Neslo if they really want to perform. You saw in all the brackets we took a part of earlier on, Mr. X, Maven, and Benson all didn't even have Rise getting anywhere in their brackets.
4-1, I believe. They have them losing 1-4 to Denial.
Nothing at all. So really just getting shut down there. If you're wondering where you can watch the full bracket show, tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time right here at mlg.tv/ESR. We won't be having a show, but you can be sure to tune into the bracket show to see all the banter that went down in case you missed it. But back to Chino. They stuck with him all season long through the roster mania of the North American Regionals. Excited to see if it wound up paying off this weekend. Max, how big is it really for Chino to show up this weekend overall for how his career has played out so far?
It's extremely important, considering the fact that Rise as an organization stuck with Chino through Season 2 and through the end of Season 1. They chose him to really captain this team after they had to put together
They built it around him.
Pretty much, yeah. When it was Perplexed, Legal, and Vexed, that was their starting Season 2 roster for people who may not remember. A lot of people probably don't remember that at all. But they had to put together a different roster for COD Champs because Chino was too young to compete this year. So they put together, a very different roster with Pac-Man, who else on that roster? Diabolic, Sender, and one other player. Jack, help me out.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Me either. But anyway, yeah, much different roster. So, and then going forward in Season 2, they were like, we're still committed to playing with Chino.
Yeah.
So then they built this whole new roster around him. Then they revamped it, adding Theory and Neslo, which were two big pickups because a lot of people even predicted Theory to go to AR back then. You remember that?
Absolutely.
And then they added Wheats back, who's always been like a mainstay on Rise. So it's really important for him to come out, have a really strong event. Not really a breakout event. We've seen him have strong events, like especially Season 3 for Ghost playoffs when he was on Noble. So it's extremely important. And as far as, just as himself as a player, as, building around him, if he doesn't have a strong event, Rise will, start to second guess themselves.
That was number 20, Chino, starting off our list here of the top 20 impactful players at the X Games. He represents Rise Nation. But now we're heading over to the Wolfpack.
19.
Our number 19 impactful player heading into the X Games is none other than Denial's JCap. Jordan Kaplan, he had a great Season 2 there with a 1.01 overall KD. Finished 5th through 8th at the X Games last year with FaZe Red. Frustrating event to say the least. He only took home one map. A veteran of Call of Duty eSports. He's been one of the top players throughout oh gosh, the last 6 COD games,
Oh,
7 COD games.
I think that since Call of Duty was a thing.
Yeah, so he's been around forever. 2.19 uplinks per game, a .93 S&D KD, .99 hardpoint KD, and a 1.09 CTF KD. A lot on the line for JCap here. If he doesn't take home a medal at the X Games, that's a major letdown, as last year he got shut down right away. This year, going from world champions to then not placing at the X Games, that would be the big fall of denial.
Yeah, he only won 1 map last year at X Games, people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so winning 2, I think from there on, you're like, okay, good. Got the monkey off my back.
That team last year was Theory, Classic, and Replays.
Yeah, FaZe Red. Rest in peace, FaZe Red.
RIP.
But Matt made a good point on the ESR a couple days ago, saying, I think it was for the Denial preview.
Yeah.
Saying that Denial is one of the teams that can actually have 2 strong ARs on a field in front of Clayster and JCap, which is something really important to have on a team. We see it. OG has 3 players that can pull out an AR and dominate. Formal, Crim, and Scump. Or sorry, Karma. So, it's extremely important for JCap to have a strong event, especially for Denial.
Oh yeah.
They're, obviously Clayster's going to show up, Attach is going to show up. But coming in on 19th spot, I feel like JCap fits perfectly here.
And that's one thing that gets spoken about a lot. When you mention this Denial team, JCap isn't the one that is brought up right away. It's always, is Clayster going to go up? Which Attach is going to show up? Either very good Attach, or the Attach that kind of is very inconsistent. Yeah. And is Replays going to go double negative, or is he going to get the kills in the hard point?
Exactly.
And JCap just isn't mentioned. Well, JCap, here's your recognition you need right at the number 19 spot. And by the way, don't take this at anything poor that he's all the way down here at the 19th spot, because
not at all.
First of all, every player attending the X Games more than deserves to be here, and you'll see with how the rest of this list goes, only more and more insane players are to come. But one thing we do want to highlight in this top 20 series is some great games we've seen from these players in Advanced Warfare. And we're going to start off with a game here from JCap. It's Denial versus TK from the Season 1 Championships, showing just how big he can go off.
Too heavily favored at this point. You see that spawn coming in at green for the players on TK.
They're
going to spawn underneath that Attached. He's slaying out on the mini-map. Looks like he was underneath. They're going to put that one in for 2. And TK needs to be careful here. They can't let this one get away.
Yeah, and the reason you're going for glass control, like we've been talking about, is because you go keep an eye on the mini-map. I mean, basically what you're actually fighting to do is spawn them in that top right corner in green. And you saw they did that perfectly there. They had a player lined up, so as they started streaming out, I believe it was Attached, got some easy kills, they put in another dunk.
Right, and Looney, he was going to be watching that left-hand side, but he's actually going to be taken out. JCap going to flood in. Sharp, 2 huge kills. He needs to get in, get that drone, though. It's going to reset in 5 seconds. He'll pick that one up. Is he going to go for 1? Going to line that shot up, and he's going to knock that one down. So nice plays from Sharp.
Well, one positive thing from TK, there are 2 shots.
They can shoot. Yeah, they just need to get those 2-point plays, though. I mean, they can't just keep settling for 1. They get the drone over in perfect position, and then, one thing goes wrong.
How is Cap still alive? There's been a person chasing him since really all the way outside, like air conditioners followed him the entire way, and this is going to turn into a dunk.
We talked about it earlier. He has some of the best movement we've seen this weekend. Him and Attach just move. It looks so fluid, so different than some of these other players we've watched.
I don't know if it was his movement or if the player chasing him needs to find a new gun.
No, it's the movement. I mean, in this game, movement really separates players. Definitely adds a huge skill gap. And, him and Attached, 2 of the best players in air in this game.
That was absolutely phenomenal. 6-2 lead right now. Looks like Denial trying to close this one out, getting kills inside of their base. We have Clay here as well. Shot's a little bit shaky. He is going to ultimately drop, but we are under 30 seconds to go in this first side. So far, it's been all Denial.
Oh, it's been all Denial. TK had a chance to get maybe 2 2-point plays, made it a little bit closer. Probably would be 6-4, but they had to settle for 1s. You got to look back and think, those plays, when Goon was trying to get the drone, and then before, when they had the drone coming into the base, Looney watching that.
They're getting another dunk.
Yeah, they're going to get another dunk. Watching that far left-hand side, Looney wasn't able to pick up that 1-kill player, got behind. Got to wonder if that's going to come back to bite them. And right now, I thought they were going to have another chance for a score, but time ends, going to go into halftime 8-2 in favor.
Well, it's so difficult when you're on that side and you spawn in green, because since it has a roof there, you can't jump up and put shots and the people wrapping around blue. I mean, you don't see them really until they're dashing into the uplink. You see them for like 1 second, and you try to get some shots in, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to live through it and get that dunk through. You try and
jump up top, and you're fighting the guy on the roof, hanging behind that AC head glitch. And then if you go underneath, you're just kind of pushing through that tunnel. It's one alleyway. It's pretty easy to line up a headshot and shoot straight down a hallway.
Yeah, we saw, I think it was Attached earlier, just you see the 3 arrows on the minimap pop, and they all try to stream out together and just drop like flies.
Right, so it's pretty easy to go, but Theory, it looks like he's going to get a 2-point score right off the rip for TK. So very nice start if you're a TK
needed
fan.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they needed that. Get a little bit of that momentum back, but you see Clay just dominating that side of the map with the Bal. You know, not the highest in KD, but you know, really opening up those lanes for players. And if JCap gets this one in, he's just a wizard.
They cannot kill him.
What is going on? How is he alive? It makes no sense how he does
He's
that.
using camouflage.
He is not using active
He's
camo
using
now.
camouflage.
No, he is not in replays. He's going to put that one in. Should be an easy 1-point score, but he's going to beat down Theory. But they're really letting this one get away. I mean, this is the JCap show here in the loser bracket finals, just playing out of his mind.
Are bullets, like, is this the movie Wanted? Are the bullets bending around him? I don't understand. No one can shoot him.
He is just doing a phenomenal job just staying alive. It's kind of easy to say in a shooting game. You know, obviously you don't want to die, but it's very difficult to just kind of keep your life and extending your life. And JCap is doing an absolutely phenomenal job. 3 streak right here. Looks like he'll be able to put in another 2-point play. And Denal is racking up the score. You see all the players on TK spawning over on that green side. They have one player who's over by drone. They're going to need him to go big, but it looks like replays. He's going to be able to get that drone out of there and just play it into the base. Not able to get a score, but you know, just a phenomenal rally right there from Denal.
I mean, this isn't really fair since JCap is clearly hacking, as he is 24 and 14 with 8 uplinks, deflecting bullets, getting the kills, putting through the uplink. It's been phenomenal stuff from him, and TK needs a miracle. Just over 3 to play, down 10 right now.
You know, I think TK really spent all of their energy, you know, in that series against
Trying to kill JCap?
Yeah, I mean, they spent all that series, all the energy in that series with Optic Gaming, and then, you know, trying to make that comeback in that first hardpoint game. They really kind of just seem empty in the tank.
And Replay's just going to toss it in there, see if there's anyone at home that's going to pick it up, but it will go back to TK. We'll see if they reset or decide to wrap this out. Looks like they are going to wrap it. They're going to be going, I thought they were going to be going green side, which you don't really see all that often. Yeah, you don't really see it ever.
You used to, you know, on that one side, you used to wrap it around green, but not anymore. It definitely puts you in a pretty bad situation. Sharp, he's going to turn on Replays, pick up 1. Theory, he's going to need to pick up this kill, finally able to kill Clayster with the drone. But you see, in this second half, we haven't talked about TK with the drone at all. They've had absolutely no control.
Well, they got the early
side of the map. They got the first early score, but Denal set up immediately for, you know, that drone again, and they were never able to get control of it again, is TK.
And still a 10-point advantage, just over to Sharp, 27 and 20, getting it down the slaying department for TK. Still JCap leading the way for Denial, and they're looking to close this one out. They are not letting up on the pressure.
Nope, and they're just going to have the drone sit there. They don't even need to really play for more scores. They're just going to kind of play the drone on the map and really just slay around it. You see the players of Denial just setting up on the outsides, trying to, you know, just extend the time. I mean, really, you see that one player pushing over. Yeah, now they're going to push over after they get a bunch of kills. Clay probably going to settle for a 1-point score right there. He's going to knock that one in. 15-4 in favor of Denial. It is looking good. Only a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock left in this uplink game.
Yeah, I mean, they went for the score there, but really, like you said, they can hold like 2 people in glass, 2 people outside of glass, and just really play this like it's a death match right now.
What happened right there is, you know, Denial just kept slaying out TK, slaying out TK. TK got a little bit too aggressive. You saw Denial picked up 3 kills in the kill feed pretty quickly, and then they just went in for 1. And, you know, for TK, it's got to be pretty frustrating to have to play against that.
Yeah, this has been a frustrating pass. They've played what? This is our 4th match. They had 5 before. The last 9 or so games, the last 2 hours have been utter frustration for TK. I mean, there's been some highs and lows, but it's
been frustration because you go on that kind of emotional roller coaster game after game, and you're just kind of just spent emotionally, spent just mentally, really can't focus that well. And I think after that first hardpoint game, I thought personally if TK would have won that first hardpoint, they would have had a chance in this series. But once it went to Denial, and especially in the fashion that it went to Denial in, I really thought, you know, this was going to be potential for a, you know, 3-0, and that looks like we're going to have.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, 40 seconds left. They're up 11 right now. You never want to say it's over, but it's over.
Kind of over, yeah. Theory, he's going to try and get that 1 throw in, not able to do so. Looks like they might get 2 out of it. Have players pushing into the base. Looney, he's going to get shut down by Replays. Replays should just play that drone. He might even just hold it here in green. If he just holds it here in green, I mean, they're going to have to push him, eventually get him out of there. Then he can play the drone. But looks like this one is going to be over. So Denial is going to take out TK 3-0 and move on to play Optic Gaming in the grand final.
Well, this is the final you and I talked about before the event started. We thought it would definitely be this matchup. Denial has been strong. I mean, they were strong before the trade. They've been incredible after the trade.
There you can see a great performance from Denial, but mainly JCap doing what he needs to for his team that game. Absolutely. Sharp, it's really the only person putting up a great fight there for TK. They kind of got dominated in that uplink. But Denial, needing JCap to do well this weekend, like always. And, you know, the big thing for them so far, why they've done decently well in Season 3, he was consistent. Season 2, he was consistent.
Yeah.
He was right there with the KD. It wasn't like he had a .82 KD and was doing horribly. They just need him to hold his own, win those crucial gunfights, and really just kind of not do magical things like Clayster does and go 44 and 21. Just
a 1.01 KD is what you're going to see out of JCap.
Yeah.
That's
hold
good.
down the lanes, win your AR fights, and they'll be set.
He drops 32 and 23 with 8 uplinks in a comeback uplink game. You do that, JCap, you're walking away with a medal.
I asked the chat who they think will be our next player here. I'm seeing Goon, I'm seeing Attach, Wheats, Nameless, and Looney. Well, guess what, ladies and gents? This might come as a surprise to some of you. Our next player is TP at the number 18 spot, rocking Envy. He was an X Games bronze medalist last year. Flex role for his team, kind of fill anything they need. 0.92 overall KD. His S&D KD was a 0.87, averaged 0.51 first bloods per game, only 25 kills per respawn. And overall, 3.34 uplinks per game. Now, Max, explain this TP pick for 18th here. Some people might think it's a little bit low overall. Why do we put him in this spot?
I mean, when you look at TP, still one of those, like, I guess his roles kind of changed a little bit in AW to, like, more of that flex position. But still, you know, that old objective, like, mindset, very objective-oriented. I mean, TP's an impactful player for Envious. As far as, you know, him showing up, he's going to get in the hills. He's going to score the uplinks. But, you know, if he does a little bit more than that, that's, you know, it'll really put Envy over the top. I mean, we'll see later there are more people on the Envy roster on this list that I think are a little more important as far as overall impact to the team. I think you can agree with me on that one.
I think it really comes down to the impact as in how much, if they play well, what they can do for their team and the players we'll talk about later, especially for Envy. So on the overall scale of things, I think TP, one of the winningest players in COD overall.
2014 world champion.
Yeah, like absolutely crazy accolades, but in this certain role for his team, there are more impactful players.
His role's been all over the place, really, when you look at it from all of AW.
On that ON team, he arguably one of their best slayers.
Yeah, especially when he would host, like that TP host, like he dropped like 46 consistently. But I do believe we have a gameplay to show off TP a little bit.
One of the most legendary uplink games in AW.
Yeah, it's going to be from the North American Championship this past year. It's going to be ON.
Versus Envy when Teep is on ON.
Right, Teep is on ON. This is still showcasing TP as a player.
Yeah.
Loses round 6, game 3, Detroit uplink. This was a great game to watch. If you missed it and you know, I don't know what you were doing, but we're going to watch it again.
A minute 40 left on the clock. ON playing from good side. I think they're going to need to get some points on the board here, Chris. They're going to really look at solidifying this as a victory in the map column for them. I think they're going to need at least, you know, 3 or 4 points here on this first half to really feel good about themselves going into the second half.
Opportunity here for TP to score. There's 2 players stacked up, though. Killa on the rotation is going to have to deal with Merc first, then go for Nameless. Nameless going to toss out the drone, so the reset's coming through. Killa knows there's a player in the back, turns his back just at the wrong time. Nameless cleans it up, and that's going to allow Saints to push in for control. Will he be able to push this one forward, though? Envy playing so defensively as you see those blue arrows stacked up in school.
Envy's really just been playing for drone control, and then, you know, once they've just defended their base, thrown it out, they really have not made an attempt for a score. They're going to be looking to do that on that second side right now, just trying to control the drone. If they can get some points here, that would be huge. You see Zuma working his way through, should be able to put 1 on the board, and he does. So huge play out of Zuma right there, giving Envy that first point on the board.
And we showed you how Envy was kind of setting up, responding to Optic Nation spawns. Really nice play just to force it through and just go for 1. There was too many ON members back at the base for a dunk opportunity. Nameless, 30 seconds left. Has an opportunity to score out at least 1 more time, and we're going to see the ball now pushing behind Karma, the lead blocker. TP going to be carrying this
should be a 2-point score.
Here it is, dunk opportunity, 15 seconds left. Nation going to get it through. They take the lead at the buzzer as we come down the last 10 seconds. 1 opportunity for 1 last toss, but Saints not going to be able to get this one through as it looks like too many stuns coming through. Will he be able to connect? It's going to go up, and great interception again. Ooh. Karma with the grab.
Karma with a huge interception. Another one in this first half, keeping that score at 2-1 in ON's favor. But Chris, you really look at the game as a whole. Then Team dominating the first half, 18-9 in the kill department. The only one with uplinks for ON. But want to point out that Karma throw. We'll go back to that as the game goes on. We'll see how this plays out, but they could potentially be up 4-1 or 3-1 right now. They really should at least have another 1 point on the board.
Do want to point out that was actually Killa and Karma jumping up at the same time. Killa got the second interception so far in this game. Saints off the start is going to rip open a two-piece now, leading through the school. He needs a teammate to grab that drone. He's going to be the lead blocker once again. Satellite in the hands of Nameless. It's going to be Saints working with Zuma in the front. And here comes the two-pointer right away. Envy takes the lead in the first 30 seconds here of round 2. They're not done yet. Nameless continuing to slay out the spawners, and you got the pressure coming from Merc from this school stairs.
They need to get Nameless out of their base. They finally do, but getting behind that back truck, such a power position. Merc with a phenomenal two-piece right there in school. You see Saints still lighting up the kill feed for Envy, and he's going to try and push this one into school.
I like the bank stuns. Not going to connect, though. Goes for the melee, and that player was so distracted. Saints gets the kill on Killa, has a little bit of help. It's Zuma this time pushing through. 1 point opportunity, but someone's in the window. TP causing problems with Miracles back at home. Now Miracles going to rotate this drone. Will they take it alley? We haven't seen any alley pushes yet, but Optic Nation does have a player leading that charge. It'll be Killa who needs to get these big kills with the bow.
You know, every time we go on with Killa, I feel like he's throwing stuns or using some kind of equipment, and sometimes that really throws your game off. You're not able to have your gun out at the opportune times. You know, back in Black Ops 2 with Clay, he used to hate running trophy systems for that exact reason. Felt like every time he threw them down, he was taken out. Killa really just needs to focus on winning those gunfights, I think.
Zuma going to be pushing through the garage, letting Merc lead the way. Merc with the initial shots, and he will chase down Killa. So trading kills back at home. Zuma last man standing as he loses all of his cover fire. TP going to lead the charge into the base. Miracles bringing up the satellite, going for the toss, and here is the dunk. Great performance here from Optic Nation to convert that one. They take the lead once again. We still have 3 minutes of play, and everyone fighting for the drone. Zuma, 2 Nation players to slay out before this drone can go in for a dunk of their own.
I was going to say, you know, that's a great score from Optic Nation, but they needed to get back towards mid-map. Envy not even going to go back and contest their base. They were going to play for a counter cap right there, and it is shut down by the team of Teep and Karma as they're going to try and get this drone through garage. You know, 2 minutes, 36 seconds left. It's looking good for Nation. They're going to need to just control the drone like Envy did in that first half.
Matt, do me a favor. Switch through the players on Envy. I want to see, is anyone rocking hardwired? Because TP's got the EMPs out. Going to try and prevent those interceptions back at home and potentially some dunks back at his base. Teep, though, doing a phenomenal job of slaying. Has 29 kills, just 15 deaths on a 3 streak, leading all players in the lobby. The world champion showing that he is one of the top slayers still in the game despite his objective skills.
So cycling through all the players on Envy, Chris, everyone is now running hardwire. The EMPs and stuns from Optic Nation proving to be so much for the guys on Envy to deal with. And it's going to be Merc winning that battle at the base right there. Very close to Teep getting another score. But this is what you expect out of, you know, the 3/4 of Impact. Back in Black Ops 2 when they won the Call of Duty World Championships, what they did differently than everybody else there is they utilized all the equipment, all the tacticals, and all, you know, the EMPs, the stuns, the trophy systems. They were able to do that so well. As you see Merc put in a 2-point score, minute 30 seconds left, but in this game they're doing the same exact thing, definitely throwing Envy off a bit.
TP's had all 4 of their points so far. He continues to add kills as well. That is his 32nd, 33rd here on Merc. Can he clear the school? His teammates all fighting for control in the middle, and they have just one more player. It's the satellite carrier, and that will be thrown off as Miracles takes out Zuma. So TP trying to push into the Envy base once again. Don't be surprised if you see Miracles go for that objective, give him the pass, and another dunk to go up by 1.
Envy, you have to know how they like to play uplink, Chris. Right now, they're just going to try and get drone. They're going to hold it for an extended period of time. Then they're going to try and play it off the map. And you see ON, they know exactly what's going to go on here in the last 47 seconds. They're making a strong push up the middle of the map.
TP applying the pressure. Nameless back at home trying to defend. Miracles with the toss. TP cut down. Nameless, can he prevent the score? Karma's going to clear the way. Miracles is going to go for his own recovery. The fumble is picked up and put in for 2 more. Nation with the lead, final 30 seconds.
I'm worried about the way the map looks, though. There's going to be a big battle. It's going to go down in school. It's going to be Saints winning that one. Karma, he's going to have to play strong defense here. The player's going to get by, and they're going to get a score. You know, 15 seconds left, Chris. Envy taking the lead. I don't know if there's enough time for Nation to make a comeback.
Miracle's just gonna go for the long-range toss. Throws it up. He's got Teep in front of him. Teep with the dunk with 5 seconds left. Optic Nation, they have locked it up here in game number 3 to take the lead 2-1.
Okay, so what we saw there was ON able to get a score, and then you saw all 4 members of Envy mid-map, right, Chris? Saints and Zuma win those battles in school. They're able to get...
Honestly, the gameplay there was absolutely incredible, but really the best part of that entire game was Miracle's celebration after and Killa's face.
Yeah.
Killa's just sitting there like...
I was just doing this. This is like...
Absolutely crazy stuff there.
Did you just do that?
I interviewed TP after that series was done, and when he broke down his game, I said, what was your thought process there in the final seconds? Honestly, that makes sense. He said that he pushed towards green. He knew to wait out, not to push through the green alley, or else the spawns would go not in his favor.
Right.
He waited for the player to then spawn so he could shoot him in the back to then push and get the double jump when he needed to, so there wasn't that last player that would challenge him. Then he caught the drone, which wasn't a pass, it was a toss that he had to then pick up while not looking at it, while then being able to dunk all within the final 5 seconds.
Absolutely nuts.
TP is my dad.
That makes no sense. But yeah, TP, what an amazing gameplay to show off his skill and his talent and how impactful he can be on a team.
Absolutely.
Now, number 17. This might come as a little surprise to some people.
People call him the European King, a.k.a. Jerd from TCM Gaming. King Jerd is first time competing at the X Games alongside the rest of his team. He's also a flex role for his squad. Overall KD, solid at a 1.0. Just under an even KD there at S&D at 0.94, 2.22 uplinks per game, 28.84 kills per respawn. And overall, just pretty similar KDs there between Hardpoint and CTF, with only 0.03 separating them. Max, what does Jerd bring to his team?
Jerd brings that explosive factor.
Yeah.
Like, Jerd, one word to describe him as a player is explosive.
Yeah.
You see him have a 1.0 KD, but in hardpoints and uplinks, like with that flex roll, he's going to be doing a lot of things. Like, he's going to go 34 and 34 a lot of games. You know, he's going to go 26 and 27 and some uplinks.
We were looking at some hardpoint games. It was 39 and 40, like 40 and 40. Like, all he does is get in the hard point.
I really
push the hill.
Push. JP, Mo, I want to know how many interactions that guy has per game.
Per averages, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's nuts.
I'm sure it's one of the top in in COD.
Yeah. So, a very explosive player. We'll have a lot of gunfights.
Yeah.
We'll win a lot. We'll lose a lot. But really, like, we saw Jerd really explode on the scene in Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
And everyone was considering him the EU Crim 6, the EU Scump, like King Jerd does what he wants, like the Jerd things.
Yeah.
So on TCM, extremely important for him to be, on his game. If he's not, then the team will struggle.
And one player we're going to talk about later on, spoiler alert, Mad Cat for TCM.
Right.
Mad Cat and him are that duo in Hardpoint, where they are just pushing the objective, pushing the envelope of what they need to accomplish. Mad Cat is going to hold down the map for Jerd, while Jerd can get in that hill and just basically spin around and shoot things.
Basically,
and just get in as many engagements as possible. Jerd is the guy who's the distraction that goes in and dies but trades a kill, so that Mad Cat now has that opening for him with the bow to just cut down players.
Right.
That is how the dynamic works between these two players. That's why he is so impactful. Sitting at our number 17 spot, Jerd is more than deserving of this position. People saying he should be top 10, top 14. Trust me, guys, it was very tough to pick where these guys should go.
Right.
That is Jerd here for TCM. Now we're going to move into our 16th player.
This one's shocking, I think.
And this one's going to shock a lot of people, but we have there's some points to back up behind it.
Right, exactly.
Number 16, Max, who is it?
Going to be Karma from Optic Gaming.
Yeah.
Falling in at 16, maybe a little higher than a lot of people are expecting him to fall
lower
at.
In this respect.
Lower, technically, yes. As you see, X Games brought medalist last year with Evil Geniuses. Going to be doing that flex role for Optic Gaming. And you see his Pro League 2 Season 2 stats, 0.96 overall KD, a 1.12 S&D KD, 26.77 kills per game with that Slayer rating, and then 2.85 uplinks per game, as well as a 0.94 hardpoint KD and a 0.95 CTF KD. But the real thing to note here is that if Karma has a bad game,
OG can still win.
OG can still win, exactly.
Yeah.
If he does well,
then there's no way they lose.
There's no way they lose.
That's why in this position, we didn't put him as a higher impact player.
Right.
Because it's not like he's a Clayster for Denial, who, if Clay does bad, Denial basically loses the game.
Exactly.
Unless the rest of them somehow absolutely turn up.
Right.
Finished third with EG last year. Wants to get that gold medal this time around. Two rings, one gold medal. That would be pretty nice to have.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
That's a little trophy class we got there, Karma. But yeah. Like I said,
AW's been interesting for him.
we had this talk of Puckett, and we were all like, if Karma has a bad game, OG will still probably win, unless he goes like 0-44.
Yeah.
Which probably
Karma ran around with a knife in one of their matches online, and they still won.
Yeah. So
he went like 2-25.
That explains to you Karma.
Yeah.
And how good OG is as a squad.
And looking at things really, as I think the number one thing too for Karma is as long as he keeps a positive mentality, he can be struggling like there. You saw 0.96 season 2 KD. Nothing ridiculous because the rest of his team was like around 1.3, like 1.13 or up.
Yeah.
Like Formal and Scump, I think both had 1.22 and 1.21, and then Krim was like 1.08 or something like that. Like right there.
Yeah.
Like
you'll see Karma with these numbers in that flex type role because he does a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah.
For this OG squad, because obviously Krim and Formal and Scump will pretty much kill everything on the map. So Karma's kind of like, well, is there anything left for me to kill? Oh, I got killed. Okay. Well, I guess my KD is gonna be like a 0.96.
Yeah.
But that is our top.
Apparently, someone said, "Courage, we can't be friends now." Sorry, Alpha TBG. I'm sorry I let you down. Trust me, I'm a big fan of Damon Barlow, but
who isn't a fan of Damon?
In this position, if you look at how things break down, there are players who play a bigger role on their team. And guys, do not go anywhere. Tweet the stream out when we come back. 15 through 11. Put your predictions in the chat. Stay tuned.